Hey, what's going on, y'all? I hope everyone's having a blessed day. I want to talk to you guys about a few things about the credit repair process that I see a lot of clients that are in different credit repair forums asking the same questions. I go into these forums, and what I try and do is I try to answer as many questions as I possibly can so that, everybody can get on the same page, right? So what I do is I go into forum to forum, and I'm starting to see the same questions asked again and again. And so what I just wanted to do is I just wanted to make a video about some of those questions that people are asking regarding credit repair. And when you're talking about credit repair, one thing that I'm a huge advocate of is education. And when you're dealing with credit repair companies, um, sometimes I know I made a video about one of the largest credit repair companies out there. I joined this company because I wanted to know a little bit about their onboarding process, right? And how they go about educating their clients about credit repair. So what happened was I joined this company and they didn't really, educate me on anything. They just took my money and said they can help me, and that was it. They just went to the dispute process. And when you're in a situation like that, it becomes frustrating when something arises and every time you call somebody, right? You call the credit repair company, you have a different person picking up the phone trying to answer your questions, and you start to feel like a number, right? And that's the problem with a lot of larger credit repair companies is they treat clients like numbers and don't give them the personal attention that they deserve. All right, I'm not going to bash credit repair companies today, but that's just my 2 cents. um One question that I see over and over, there's two questions. One, I'm just going to tell you the first two questions. One is you know they disputed items on their credit report and they received a letter from the collection agency, the third party collection agency, basically suing them. And the second question is, um, why did my credit score go down after the items were deleted? So I'm gonna answer those questions in order for right now. Well, first and foremost, I have this thing where I try and tell clients that whenever I'm working with them and we're disputing items on a credit report, that there's a potential to wake a sleeping giant. You see, there's something called the statute of limitations. And in every state, the statute of limitations is different. So your state might be 4 years, another state might be 5 years, and I believe it goes all the way up to 8 years. But, don't take my word for it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to provide a link in the description that you can go check your state and see what the statute of limitations are. Now, what is the statute of limitations? Right? The statute of limitations is the time period that a collection agency or a collector has to come after to sue you for a debt that you owe them. So if the statute of limitations is 4 years, they got up to 4 years to come after you. Anytime after 4 years, then they can't come after you. But here's the thing: you will see collection agencies, regardless of the statute of limitations, come after you sometimes and send you those letters. If they do take you to court and you don't show up, then you could be found liable regardless, right? And so now at that point, they can basically garnish your wages or do what they have to do to collect their debt, right? They have a court order issue debt, and now they can garnish your wages. So those of you who are wondering how does a wage garnishment work, that's kind of how it works, right? They took you to court, they sued you, and you didn't show, right? You didn't show up to court, and they got a judgment against you, and now they can put the process in place to start collecting the debt through garnishment. So if you have a collection and we dispute that item on your credit report and you're within the statute of limitations, there's a very good possibility that once you send that letter, if you haven't had any correspondence with that third-party collector, you may get something in return basically stating that, hey, look, we got in touch with you now. You owe us a certain amount of money, and it could be from an attorney's office. And it could look very threatening, and it could look like, okay, you're in really big trouble. Not saying that you're not, but to a lot of people, getting a letter from an attorney is very intimidating, right? So if you are disputing items within the statute of limitations, there is a possibility that you can be sued and the situation could become bigger than what it is right now. Just understand that. I'm not saying it will, but just understand that. As far as the second thing about your items on your credit report, what happens is there's, the five factors that make up your FICO score: your payment history, your utilization rate, your length of credit, your mix of credit, new credit, right? So your payment history, which is 35% of, your FICO score. So let's say you have a collection account that's 5 years old, right? It's Capital One. I always pick on Capital One because everybody knows now. I'm not saying it has to be. I'm just using them as an example. You have a Capital One card that went to a third-party collection 5 years ago. You lost your job. You had the card for 10 years, but 5 years ago, you had the card for 15 years, let's just say, and 5 years ago, you defaulted on that card. It got sent to a collection agency, and now 5 years later, you're ready to get back on your feet, and you want to dispute that item on your credit report. So here's what happens a lot of times. A lot of people don't understand that you have a lot of good pay history with that account. Let's say you was paying good on that account the whole entire time, and that account helped boost your credit score. Once it went into collections, the damage is done on that account, right? So I like to tell people, if the account, isn't over a certain age, if it's over a certain age, you may not want to mess with it. And that comes down to the sweet science of disputing, right? So I have a situation where I give dispute letters out as far as templates, and it's almost like giving a child a gun sometimes, because I don't know if I spend enough time educating you guys on what to dispute and how to go about the dispute process. And it could put you in a situation where you're doing more harm than not. If you have that account that's 5 years old, but you had that credit card for so long and it's a good pay history, if you delete that off your credit report, there's a really good chance that your credit score is going to go down. And just understand that just because an item, a collection account, comes off your credit report doesn't mean that your credit score is going to go up. Right? A lot of times, if it's an older account, then it's going to have a less impact on your credit score, less negative impact on your credit score. So you don't have to worry about, disputing that item at all. Just leave it alone and let it build. And it's going to fall off your credit report in 2 more years anyway, right? So it just really depends on the situation. Now, if you had to get that item off your credit report because you were trying to get a home loan or something like that, I get it. But just for the sake of having a pretty credit report, you may not want to dispute that item on your credit report. I hope you got what I was trying to say in that situation. Right? So those are the two top questions that are in the most credit repair forms. Then you get those questions over and over again. And I just try to drill it in your guys' heads that, hey, look, if you're disputing items on your credit report, just make sure that you understand, one, you could be waking a sleeping giant, and two, there's no guarantee that your credit score is going to go up by the removal of that item on your credit report. So the third thing that I want to talk to you guys about is an item that is deleted off your credit report. So just because an item is deleted off your credit report doesn't mean that that item can't come back on your credit report. Now, understanding the dispute process is really key. When I signed up for I don't want to say the name of the company. When I signed up for a large credit repair company, how about that? What happened was an item was deleted off my credit report. It was counted as a deleted item, and like within 10 days it came back on my credit report. Now, I knew what was going on. It wasn't the credit repair company's fault, but the credit repair company can say that the item was deleted from the credit report and treat it as a deleted item. However, in my book, it wasn't considered a deleted item. I'll tell you a little bit about the situation that happened. So whenever you have a collection or a charge-off or a bankruptcy or something like that, the items that are in that bankruptcy have to have a zero balance, right? So what happened was it was reporting as a balance, and the dispute to the credit bureau was the fact that this item is still showing a balance and there shouldn't be a balance. So what happened was they removed the item, corrected the item, and then put it back on my credit report as a zero balanced item. They actually corrected it. And so the large credit repair company, right, started calling it a deleted item. And even though I knew what was going on, I wanted to see if they would even educate me on what was going on, and there was no education or anything. It was just like, oh, it's deleted. And I said, no, it's going to come back. And then they said, well, we pull your credit report once a month and we'll look at it at that point in time, or you can pay us and we'll look at it and then we'll redispute it, right? But there was still no education on my behalf, like, because I played like I didn't know anything about credit repair. So there was no information that was given to me on what was going on. So I just want you guys to understand, just because an item is deleted off your credit report doesn't mean that it will not come up on your credit report. Like a lot of times in these forms, and I see it all the time. That's another thing that happened with me where my bankruptcy, I had somebody dispute my bankruptcy and it came off my credit report and then it came back on my credit report. It was TransUnion. So, you can get a false sense of hope when items are coming off on your credit report. But when they're coming off on your credit report and getting put back on, they're just completing their investigation and correcting the issues that are wrong. There are bulletins that are given to furnishers that inform them if they're ever going through a challenge with the client, right? With the customer. It's better to just remove it from the credit report, fix it, and then put it back on the credit report. That's what the bulletins say. Now you're going to have other credit repair specialists to say that they can't do that, but that's what they're being told to do, and that's what happens a lot of times. They're looking at the information, gathering all the information. They have 30 days. They're not going to meet the 30-day mark. They take it off your credit report. They finish their investigation, and now they put it on your credit report the next month, the following month, the next billing cycle, or whatever it is, right? It could be the next day. And at that point, now you have to change your strategy and dispute from a different angle, right? That's the importance of knowing why items are coming off and on your credit report, right? Because you're disputing with the credit bureaus. The credit bureaus then has to let the furnisher know, hey, look, this client is saying this account isn't theirs, and that furnisher has to get back to the credit bureau within 30 days, right? So that's what's happening in most situations when you're disputing with the credit bureaus, and stuff are coming off your credit report and getting put back on. The fourth thing that I want to talk to you guys about is what I specialize in, right? And so I'm just going to toot my own horn. There wasn't a lot of people teaching people how to build credit the way that I teach, way I was presenting it. Before. I think it's starting to gain a little bit more traction. Education, telling people to go out getting secure credit cards. There's still some people that are saying secure credit cards are the devil, and that's some misinformation, right? That's some misinformation right there. Anybody that's saying secure credit cards are bad, I mean, there are some bad ones, but if you're going to the banks that I talk about, like for example, Discover It is my favorite secure credit card because it graduates. That's probably one of the fastest graduating secure credit cards that you can get. Navy Federal Credit Union secure credit card graduates. And what I mean by graduate, these cards, you give them $250, $300. At the end of 10 to 12 months, they relook at your credit. You've been using the card and you've been using it responsibly. They send you your money back. And so now that card becomes an unsecured credit card, right? There's a lot of people who say secure credit cards are bad. And if you're getting a secure credit card that say, doesn't graduate, First Progress doesn't graduate, Americ Bank doesn't graduate. I think there's one called Premier that doesn't graduate. Like if you're getting these secure credit cards that will never graduate, it's good that they report to all three credit bureaus. But the key that you want to get your money back, and you want to work with a bank that you're going to work with and be proud to have in your wallet, right? I signed up with a company called Credit One that I ended up canceling. I ended up canceling that credit card just because they were charging me fees, and just to pay it, like if I called in and tried to pay that card, they wanted to charge me $9 just to pay my card. And there was so many different things about that card that I didn't like, and that's one thing I made a video about. It's called Don't Be a Credit Hoe. And it talks about picking the banks that you want to establish a relationship with, right? And so that's something that I want you guys to really focus on, is when you're building a relationship, that you're picking these cards that's going to help you. And when you're dealing with a credit repair company, a lot of times they won't tell you that you might be better off actually just building credit. When I talk to a lot of people, they say, "Oh, my credit is terrible. I got bad credit. I need better credit. can you delete these items off my credit report? And I would ask them, well, what do you have positive on your credit report? That's usually like one of the first questions I asked. If you've dealt with me, I'm pretty sure you got that question. And 9 times out of 10, oh, I got a whole bunch of negative items, and they'll, oh, utility bill, Verizon bill, or whatever it is, Sprint bill, or they tell you all these negative items that they have on their credit report that they want to get deleted. And my question is, well, no, I mean, what kind of positive stuff? Oh, I don't have anything positive. All the items on my credit report are negative. Well, at that point, what happens is we got to start building credit. When you go to a credit repair company, one of the first things they're going to tell you is, and they have no problem telling you this, you can't apply for credit while you're going through the credit repair process. And it's just my personal opinion that if we're going to do credit repair, that you establish your lines of credit first, your foundational credit items first. Like, you go out, you get you 2 secure credit cards. If you have to get secure credit cards and you can't qualify, you get you 2 secure credit cards, and then you get you an installment loan if you don't have an installment loan, and then you start going through credit repair. And to me personally, that's what I believe the best, 9 times out of 10, that's the best situation to be in. You got your items building while you're going through credit repair, rather than going through credit repair and then after that you're going to start building credit. Because when you apply for credit, those secure credit cards, your credit score is going to drop initially, right? Because remember, new credit, your credit report, if you're applying for new credit, anytime you have new credit hitting your credit report, you're going to have initial ding, right? Some of you remember when I got that Navy Federal Credit Union card. I believe my credit score went down 7 points. No, it's like 3. It was 3 to 7 points. It wasn't a huge point drop, but it was I dropped some points. And that's what I want you guys to be, aware of, that sometimes credit repair is great, right? But sometimes you might just be better off just building credit and then going from there, leaving some of the items on your credit report. But you're only going to be able to know these things if you're working with somebody that knows the science of disputing credit and actually looking at credit reports, helping a lot of people. And how I got that experience, let me just tell you how I got that experience. When I wrote Credit Anatomy, right, what I was doing was I was reaching out to people, friends and family, and I was just looking at their credit reports, helping them from the very beginning. And as I started helping them, the more confident that I became that I could start helping other people, and it just grew from there. And we just started helping more and more people. Now, you look at the situation, and I've helped a lot of people. I've looked at a lot of different credit reports, and I got a lot of experience in this game of credit repair, but it wasn't overnight. I didn't just read one book and say, I'm a credit repair specialist. Or I didn't just, attend a couple of webinars and all of a sudden I become a credit repair specialist. Anybody can call themselves a credit repair specialist, but until you actually take somebody from 400s to 700s, I just don't think you can wear that hat, right? And I'm not talking about yourself, I'm talking about others, right? Until you take somebody from the 400s to the 700s, you can't really call yourself a credit repair specialist. And anybody that wants to know my resume on that, all you have to do is go in the comments of my videos, and the people comment. I have my testimonials all throughout the comments of my videos. And if you're one of them, please continue commenting so that others can see it and build confidence that these strategies that I've been showing you guys will actually work, right? Matter of fact, there was a young lady that was in her 70s, and she told me that I've helped her. Now, she was in the low 400s, and now she's in the 700s, and like I said, she was in her 70s. So this helps. I don't care what age you are that you're starting out. It doesn't matter. It's just a matter of starting. So many times I get people say, "Oh, I'm going to start," and then they'll comment, a month later on another video, and they still haven't started. You got to start building credit as soon as you possibly can, right? And that's the key thing. You guys are watching my videos over and over, but watching these videos is not going to get you to the 700. What's going to get you to the 700s is, these videos will help you, but the reality of the situation is you got to put in the work. You got to get out there and you got to start, getting these lines of credit. And I'm working on other accounts, seeing what other accounts are out there to help you guys, but the reality of it is you got to get at least 2 positive revolving lines of credit on your credit report at the very least. Don't think about credit repair if you don't have 2 revolving lines of credit on your credit report. Don't even think about it. Don't contact me. Don't email me saying you're interested. Don't do it. Focus on getting those revolving lines of credit. Get that installment loan. Now, I'm going to include a link for Self-Lender. It's an affiliate link, so I receive a small commission. But whether you use the link or not, I really don't care if you use the link. I just want to have the link there so that you guys can get to it. Yeah, the money would be nice. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. But the reality of the situation is, me helping you get to the 700 is worth more than any money that you could pay me, right? When you guys are sending me these letters saying, "Hey, Kenny, you helped me out," that it changes my day. Like, it really changes my day when I get these emails or comments on this YouTube channel, because like I say, man, this is my passion. This is what I love to do. I love to help people, and I love to build credit. I'm getting ready to go through a checkpoint right now, and I want you guys to be blessed. And the fifth and final thing I'm going to tell you guys real quick is credit repair is not guaranteed, right? So you got a lot of people out here guaranteeing results. There's nobody that can guarantee results, right? When you go through a credit repair specialist and he's saying, or he or she's saying, "I guarantee you I can take this off your credit report," chances are you might want to run away from that person because they're trying to get your money, right? They're scared of losing the sale, and they got to feed their family, and that's what they see you as, somebody to feed their family. They're not really interested in helping you, bottom line, because I've been in the game way too long for somebody to sit here and say, "I guarantee you this item is going to come off your credit report. Oh, I can remove collections. I can remove that collection. I can remove your bankruptcy. I can remove your late pay. I can remove your inquiry." They possibly could, but there's no guarantee in it. Like I said, Joe, I'm getting ready to go through a checkpoint. I wish you guys have a blessed day, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.